YouTubers, welcome to the channel. I wanted to make a video about this particular guitar which I bought about 6 months ago. It's the AS53, I think it's called. It's a semi-hollow. You can see the grain through there. It's a really nice guitar, but having said that, the better my guitar playing gets, the better my instruments sound. So I'm well aware that I wasted so much time in the first couple of months always trying to get this ultimate blues sound or jazz sound or whatever I was looking for, and I just realised just over time the better I got at holding chords, the better everything started to sound. So this video is going to be about upgrading this guitar. It's exactly as I bought it, and it was only $500, but it's actually a really nice guitar. And because I fell into this little jazz kind of niche at the moment, where I thought instead of jumping around everywhere and wasting another 6 months learning bits in here and bits in there and not really progressing, I just started to really just focus on mostly jazz playing and jazz chords. And through learning more and more about jazz and watching videos, there's a couple of things that I wanted to do to this particular guitar in lieu of just purchasing a brand new jazz guitar. Because you could argue that there isn't such thing as a jazz guitar. Yes, there are semi-hollow arch tops that are specifically called jazz guitars. That's what they're for. Now this is a semi-hollow. I don't know if it's considered an arch top, but it's definitely a semi-hollow guitar, and it's going to hopefully benefit from a couple of little things that I want to do to it. Because it was $500, I would say that most of that money's gone into the aesthetics of the guitar, maybe not so much in say the pickups or the tuners or anything like that. I've already changed the strings on this guitar. Now it sounds really good. Having said that though, I have a Vox AC15C2. Everything sounds great through that amplifier ever since I bought it. So let me run through what I'm going to do to this guitar. Probably the most important thing is this. These are hot rodded humbucker sets, Seymour Duncan. These are what they consider their jazz humbuckers. I don't know what's in that guitar. I mean, it does sound okay, but I notice when other people are playing jazz solos on YouTube, their pickups seem to have a bit of bite to them. I feel like mine are kind of well rounded and in jazzy style, but I just feel there's something missing, and I'm kind of hoping that these make a difference. This is probably the most important thing as well. These are flat wound, heavy gauge jazz strings. They're considered jazz strings because they're heavy gauge. The 1252s are quite heavy and flat wound. And this is the other thing I'm going to do. What's in here are lock-in tuners. Now the reason I decided to go with lock-in tuners is because I already changed one of my guitars with lock-in tuners. The advantage with lock-in tuners is that you're not winding the string around and around and around a few times on the tuner. So instead what you're doing is you're locking the string, and then you're only winding it maybe 3/4 of the way or even 1 revolution. So there's a knob on the end here, I don't know if you can see it, and you unscrew that, and so the string goes through there and you lock it. The fourth thing I'm going to change is the little markers. I'm going to put little markers, and if you can see these, get a bit closer. So they actually, because I'm going to take the knobs off anyway and the pots out and everything so I can change the humbuckers, I'm going to put these little markers in when I put the pots back. The last thing I'm going to do, and this isn't really an essential thing, but I did it on another guitar today. And I was going to change the Tune-O-Matic to this. Okay, so it's basically it's like a Tune-O-Matic, but it has rollers instead of like V-shaped little blades like a Tune-O-Matic has. I did it on another guitar, and I'll show you. Okay, so this is the guitar I built. There's a video on how I built this. And what I did today is I made some changes. The headstock, I actually put a decal and I varnished it. I did that yesterday, and that looks really good. I know it's really strange, it's a Les Paul body with a Fender neck. I never intended to do that, but I was making the guitar for the first time, and it turned out like this. So it wasn't a conscious choice, but I also put lock-in tuners on that. And I also put, if you can see, the bridge is the style of the, I don't know if it's actually going to come up on the camera. If I get too close it might be out of focus. Basically that's it. And the other thing I did also is, if you'll notice, the tone and the volume, I changed it to pearls. And this guitar isn't for jazz because it's only got a bridge pickup, not a neck pickup. But I kind of consider it as my bluesy guitar, and also because I made it, it's very, very dear to my heart. And yeah, it plays really, really nicely, and I love it. Okay, so I am back, and these are the changes. As you can see, hopefully there's Seymour Duncan's, the roller bridge, and the flat woven strings. These strings are really nice. They're so smooth. They're, like I said, they're 1252s, jazz strings. Now the only thing I didn't do is, well, the two things I didn't do was, I ended up changing the pots, which you can't see obviously, but the little pointers wouldn't fit over these pots because they were like a metric or imperial, not metric or something, I don't know. They just wouldn't go over. The pots were a little bit fatter than normal, the thread part was, so it's a bit of a shame. I really wanted those pointers on there, but the other thing is the lock-in tuners I bought, well, I bought them on eBay and they were pretty shit, and they didn't actually work very well at all. In fact, they kept slipping because of the gauge. So what I did is I 86'd them, and I just put the original lock-in tuners. Okay, so now that the changes have been done, I've actually already done all the recordings, and I've actually put them all together side by side, so I've had a chance to listen to them. I just chose about 5 or 6 recordings that I was really happy with, and just so you know, they're not like background music, jazz and all the rest. It's just pretty much some chords, a few notes, a few scales, things like that, just keeping in things simple, just so you can kind of hear the before and after. But here are the samples, and you can hear for yourself the differences. Okay, so that was it. So that's the before and after. I hope you enjoyed that, or if you do have a guitar that you've purchased, you think it could sound a little bit better, I think upgrading the humbuckers is a good way to go. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care.